Hello everyone. Oh, I've got my AirPods in. I think that's okay. Maybe I'm saying hello to everyone that is no one because no one's on here yet. But if you join, please tell me if you can hear me because I have my AirPods in. So I'm not sure if that's working. Oh, there's someone watching. Rosie's watching. Rosie, can you hear me okay? Am I coming through my AirPods loud and clear? Let me know. So welcome everyone to, hello, a new creation that I've started thanks to one of my amazing peeps that works with me, Mr. Wesley Pullen. Yes, you can hear me, yay. So I've started creating my business a lot this year and looking at ways to do what's fun for me and get myself out into the world a little bit more, which can sometimes be a little bit, you know, a bit uncomfortable, a bit confronting. And one of his suggestions was, what if I do a weekly Facebook Live show? And I was like, I love it. Straight away, it was somewhere where, you know, using the tools of access consciousness, which is what I do, who I be, is so much where you can create with total ease. So when someone asks you a question or you ask yourself a question, it's not about getting an answer, it's about following the energy. And there's one tool in Access that we use a lot. It's something that comes up right at the beginning called Light and Heavy. And it's different for everyone. But when Wesley asked me this question, hey, what if we do this weekly Facebook Live show? Boom, it was light. So I said, yes. That was about 2 weeks ago. And here we are. This is episode 1 of the Sarah Watt Show, which I just think is hilarious as a title. So basically we've set up a landing page. So every week I'm going to come on. The times will probably change, although I'm, you know, quote unquote, stuck in Australia for the next 2.5 months, maybe. So it'll probably be Australia friendly times, and I'll try and share them so they're also Europe and United States friendly times as well. But every week I plan to come on Facebook, and you can go to sarahwatt.com.au/show and basically put in some suggestions about what you want me to talk about on these. So we've had one response to this week's survey questions, which is fine. Like, what I desire to create with this is to build on it, to keep building something. I'm just trying to get this so the lights are like not super shiny on me and making it look funny, is to keep building on this. So I also get that that might take a bit of time, but just so you guys know, you can go to sarahwatt.com.au/show and you could submit a form and ask me to talk about things on this. And I opened it to say, you can ask me anything. And that's actually where I would like to come from, that there's nothing that you guys can ask me that I would not be willing to talk about. So there we go. I'm throwing down the gauntlet and inviting you to ask me anything. So today also is International Happiness Day, International Day of Happiness, which is kind of, I don't know, one thing I would like to address, to look at on this, because the world is in this place at the moment where it's kind of a strange thing to want to be happy right now. But for me, I'm always happy too. So I'm currently at my home in Australia. Here we are, it's dark here. We're at 7:30 p.m. in Australia. And I'm in quarantine. This is my jail for the next 12 days. I'm on day 2 of a 14-day quarantine because I was traveling. I was living my life and doing what I do. And I was just in Europe, and we basically had to book our tickets and rush home because the world is closing down due to coronavirus. So I panicked for like 5 seconds, but when I look at the energy, actually, it wasn't so much panic as it was awareness. I woke up, I think it was Monday morning in Europe, and knew it was time to go home. So we hadn't quite cancelled the live certified facilitator training for Access yet. It got cancelled probably like 3 or 4 hours later. But I woke up totally aware that now was the time to head home. So thank you, Rosie, she posted the link. And if you guys are on live, please just put your questions in the chat and I will read them and we can talk about anything as well. So you don't have to fill in the form. You can also come on and just ask me things. So looking at kind of what was up in the world at the time, and also knowing that I knew that it was time to go home. So I called my airline, and the first time I tried to change my ticket, it was kind of, I got the energy the person I was speaking to was not super interested in doing whatever was required to get me home, which was my point of view. So I hung up and asked some questions and then rang back. And the next person that I got, it was Total Ease. She got me on the flight that I was told there were no seats on. She did it for free when the other person said there would be a fee to change it. So blah, blah, blah. I followed my awareness, and here I am in Australia. I've been home for about 36 hours, and I'm on day 2 of a 14-day quarantine. So the whole way home as well, there's such a level of excitement in my world at the moment, more so than normal. Like, I'm naturally a very excited person, very happy. And at the moment, it's weird because it doesn't really match how most people are in the world. But there's somewhere in my universe of knowing that whatever's going on at the moment is heading towards creating something way bigger, way different, and way greater. So how does it get any better than that? And what else is possible with what's being created now that is beyond anything we could have ever imagined? And what if everything that's showing up in the world now is actually everything we've been asking for, but just showing up in the way that we didn't expect it to? Like, there's the thing in Access we say is it's never going to show up the way you think it will. And what if that's exactly what this is right now? Like, does that make you guys feel lighter? For me, it does. So yeah, I started the journey home, and it was about 40 hours and I couldn't sleep. I'm usually like the Jedi master on planes, and I can sleep, you know, no matter how many people are on the plane, no matter how much turbulence is going on, whatever. I was so excited that I basically didn't sleep the whole way home. Now I'm home. I'm so excited about everything that it's like my whole world is expanding beyond belief. And it doesn't match where I am, like, in as much as I can't leave my house. I'm here for 14 days and I'm really not meant to walk outside. The government says we can walk around the block if we wear a mask, which I'm not going to do. I'm sorry. So I've got my home gym here. I've got 3 people at least that are happy to go and buy me supplies. I've sent people on missions. My mum's going to come and run my bars. So basically for the next 2 weeks, this is it. And I could show you guys maybe on next week's show. Out there is like the most epic sunsets, and I just so happen to have a beautiful home to spend the next 2 weeks in. So how does it get any better than that? Yeah, so here we are, the first Sarah Watt show. The world's a little crazy and I'm stupid happy. So to quickly talk about the one question that did come in on the little form, it was a Hungarian lady, I believe. I don't think she left her name, but I'm sure she was from Hungary. And her question was around my daily routine. I think she just asked that, what is your daily routine? Which was interesting because once upon a time, I would have been able to answer that with certainty. Like, it's pretty much exactly this. I wake up, I do this, then this follows this. Then I do this, then I do this, then I do this. And now my daily routine is so different. Like, as I said, in Australia, it's coming up to 8 p.m. It's 20 to 8. In 3 hours, we start certified facilitator training. The first one of 2020, which was meant to be live in Rome. And then we moved to Budapest, and now it's been cancelled as a live class. The first time ever Access Consciousness is providing this class for people online. So yeah, that starts in 3 hours. So that will go from 11 p.m. until, I don't know, sometime tomorrow morning. So today I think I was awake at about 3 a.m. Dane did a Be Different, Stay Weird call 1 of the future program for this year. So I woke up for that. And then I sat in my bed and worked and listened to the world wake up. I stopped for a moment and heard the birds here in Australia, which is one of the many, many fucking things I love about being home, is the nature and the animals and everything here in Australia. So to look at what my daily routine is, it's different. It's so different now, and I get that it's gonna just keep changing and keep getting different. So what if for you guys, like, what if every day you woke up and was willing to have your routine for the day be 10-second increments of choice? And like everywhere that you guys, and thank you also to my brother, Brendan Watt. He did a Facebook Live this morning. And I love that guy so much. I'm so lucky to have so many amazing people in my world. And I also realized for myself how choosing to do stuff like this, like these Facebook Lives, and wanting to facilitate more and talk more about access consciousness means actually showing up and being willing to probably be judged a bit by people, whether that's like a good judgment or a bad judgment, being seen as being probably weird and strange by a lot of people, and being willing to be that, to be me. And I think looking back over my life, I've always been weird and strange. So anywhere from myself that, and sorry, this is obviously being my first episode, it's a bit of a Sarah facilitating her self journey, but maybe this will contribute to you guys as well. Like everywhere for myself that I've not been willing to be as weird and strange and different as I truly am, I would love to destroy and uncreate all of that. And if that's true for you guys, maybe you want to destroy and uncreate it too. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. That's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement, which maybe there's people watching this live or later that don't know what that is. So we have a cool website you can go to. It's called theclearingstatement.com, and Dane here explains it beautifully. So for me, it's basically just a magic wand that I can wave at any point in time to change things, and it works, so I use it. So yeah, talking about my day now and my routine and how the more I'm willing to not control things and follow the energy of things, like I was saying when I chose to start doing this weekly Facebook Live thing, the more that shows up for me. And the more I have this sense of myself, this sense of joy, adventure, happiness, fun, the more I control things and try to stick myself in a routine or a box, I'm still me in a way. Like I still have semblance of myself, some parts of myself, but it's parts. It's definitely not me in my entirety, and the bigness, the size of what I truly am energetically. So yeah, so I remember Simone Milasas once said, don't, like, the moment you let your emails, your Skype chats rule your day and what goes on in your day is the moment that creations really stops, and it becomes about delivering what other people require of you rather than what you truly know is possible in the world. And that doesn't mean you don't answer your emails. God, what would a world be like where I'd never received another email? That's like my idea of heaven. I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of emails. Yeah, but the moment I'm like, oh, okay, so now I'll go to my emails and see what people require of me. Now I'll go to my Skype chat and see what people require of me. Now I'll go to, one of the other 10 platforms that people can get a hold of me and see where people are pulling me and where they need me to be. And I'll start creating my life from there. It doesn't match what I know is truly possible in the world. So my daily routine now, and thank you so much for asking this question, Mysterious Hungarian Lady. You're amazing, because this has made me look even more so at what's possible when I follow the energy and when I'm willing to use the tools of Access Consciousness. And one of the main tools in Access, or kind of what Access is all about, is questions. And every time I ask a question and I'm not looking for an answer, I'm just asking it and following the energy, that's when my life starts to match what I know is possible for the future. So, talking about today again, starting my day at 3 a.m. with Dane on Be Different, Stay Weird, the Future Call 1, and then Brendan Watt doing a Facebook Live, I think that was at around 5:30 a.m. my time. And so much them both matching this place of like, where do you want to go now? Like, what do you desire to create in the world? And what future do you want to create? Like, we're at this place now, it's almost like a where were you when moment. Like in 10 years from now, it'll be like, oh, where were you when the coronavirus outbreak happened? And basically the whole world started shutting down. And being here and now, like, what if now is the time that we have the space to start really looking at the future we desire to create and starting to head in that direction? And when I talk about that, that matches that excitement that's in my world. So that's what I'm asking for. And that's what I would like to have this time to really start looking at and creating. And I know for me, it's, if anyone knows me, they know this 2.5 months I'll be home, if that's how it ends up happening, and that's how it's looking at the moment, will be the longest I've been at home in Australia for probably almost 3 years. I think the longest usually I'm home is at the end of the year for the Aussie tour, sometimes around 4 to 6 weeks. And this is going to be like 10 weeks or something. But most people are like, oh, okay, so I was talking to someone before and they're like, oh, it's like the world's on holidays. And I'm like, kind of, and yes, but not for me. For me, it's like, how much more is available now? It's like the world can breathe again. It's like everyone's home and there's such a space being created in the world now where, what if you used that energy to your advantage? And what if this was the time to start looking at the future and not having the reference points to the past and creating from, you know, what you would have created yesterday or what your routine looked like yesterday? And what if it was like, if you could actually create anything today, wherever you are in the world? Some of you are waking up, some of you are getting ready for bed, some of you like me who should be getting ready for bed but are actually getting ready to start day one of CF training. What if right now you started looking at the direction of your future? And what direction would you like that to be? Like, where would you like to go with it? And what would you like to create? And looking at like, with what's happening in the world, like so many people, you know, their jobs are changing, their income's changing. What if now's the time to look at like, what's fun for you? What would you like to have as your income? Like, how many more revenue streams are available to you? Simone Milasas also made a post today that like 50 of the top companies in the world were created during some of the major economic downturns and depressions in the world. So she made a list in the Joy of Business Facilitator Training chat, listing like, I think it's 50 companies that were created during a recession, during a time when the world was basically experienced total financial devastation. So, and it might not be that you're worried about your money situation might be fine, but it's also like, if everyone's buying into the fact that it's now the world's on holidays or creation's stopping, where can you use that to your advantage? Where can you ask a question and look for those pockets of possibilities that might not have been available when the world wasn't in like this coronavirus crisis? And everywhere there's something available to you guys now that was never available to you before, would you be willing to ask for that to show up with total ease and total fun and total clarity? And then when it does, be willing to choose something different with it as well. Because the universe will continue to like present us with opportunities as well. But if we don't take them, then they just, you know, fall away. It's like, what opportunities can you ask to show up? And then what follow through can you have with those opportunities to create something different in the world? Hello, fella. And you guys that are watching, if there's anything you want to ask me, because otherwise, I mean, I love talking. I am a woman. Sorry, ladies out there, but I think it's, you know, something that we're all very good at. Hi, Amanda. So if you're watching and you have a question, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll go for a few more minutes and then I get it as well. Like I said at the beginning here, what I desire to create with the Sarah Watt weekly Facebook live show is a future. So this is part of the direction I want to go with my life. And that is talking to people about questions, awareness, and possibilities. And being willing to show up as someone who believes and knows that there is something else available in this world. And it doesn't take a coronavirus outbreak to prove that, but what if we could use this to our advantage? Okay, how did you get so brilliant? That's my question. Oh my God, I love you, Amanda. How did I get so brilliant? Well, I keep choosing is definitely one thing. And trusting as well. Like there's something in I can't remember which Access Consciousness book it is because they're all so fucking brilliant, but it's the 5 levels of intimacy. And one of those is trust. Trust, honor, vulnerability, gratitude, and something else. Those 5 elements of intimacy are definitely something that I've worked on with myself. And trust is like one of those big things. Like, you know, even coming on a Facebook Live like 6 months ago, I would have been like, okay, I need to plan it out. What am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? And now I don't plan. I just press that big blue button that puts me on a live and I just go for it. Allowance. Thank you, Amanda. That's the fifth element of intimacy, which is a fucking good one as well. I should not have forgotten that one because, you know, to be brilliant, you have to have a fuckload of allowance for yourself and for everyone else. And I'm kind of like, you know, so many words and so many things that I could say right now. And I'd also just like to have a moment to acknowledge the possibilities available in the world now and how much they don't even require any words at all. And also the gift that this earth is and how much we're all in a bit of a panic in varying degrees. And when you tap into and say hello to the earth, it's there, it's doing its thing, it's in total allowance of everything that we're choosing, and it's happy. There's such a level of space and joy in this world right now. So from that space, what do you guys know is possible for creating a different future here? And what can we create as ourselves, and what can we create together? And everywhere that you guys aren't willing to see that and have it with total ease, let's all destroy and uncreate it and be willing to catapult ourselves into the futures that we all desire to create. Everything that doesn't allow that, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So Suzanne is asking for a lot of allowance for herself. That's a great place to be, my friend, and for everyone else. But, you know, the cool thing about the 5 elements of intimacy is the more you have them with yourself, the more that they are totally available and easy to have with everyone else. So practice those. Like maybe that can be our little home play for this Sarah Watt show before I join you guys again next week, or who knows, maybe I'll surprise you and do these more often than weekly now that I'm home and in quarantine for 14 days. Yeah, so what if we looked at having those with ourselves and playing with that for the next 7 days and seeing what shows up? Make a little, Simone mentioned as well, and I use her a lot because she's someone that has been a total inspiration in my life. And this is one of the billion tools that she, you know, introduced to me or whatever. And that is with these, like using the 5 elements of intimacy, but it can be anything that you want more in your life. Write it on like a sticky note, you know, like one of these guys. Stick it on your bathroom mirror or like somewhere where you spend a lot of time. Like for me, it's at my office desk here, and I've got little things, you can't really see them because it's dark, but they're stuck to the window in front of me where I can look at them. Like what if you chose 1 or 2 tools or more, 5 tools to play with for the next 7 days, and you put them in your phone as a reminder, or you put them on sticky notes, and you actually put them around your house or in your car if you're not in quarantine like me, on the fridge, on the mirror in your bathroom, at the foot of your bed, so when you wake up you see them, and you actually chose to be those tools and to use them. Because there's so many tools in Access that are available. And if you guys are anything like me, I'm like, I know the tools are there and I use them about 3% of their capacity and what I know that they can actually be contributing to my life. So I'm willing to do it if you guys are, and I can talk about the tools I used and what changed for me in this week when I come on to next week's show, as well as anything else you guys want to talk about. As I was saying at the beginning, you can go to my website, sarahwatt.com.au, because I'm Australian. It's an AU on the end. And there's a short link as well, sarahwatt.com.au/show. And you can fill in a little Google form, and then I will talk about whatever you guys want me to talk about on these weekly Facebook Lives, anything at all. But what if next week also we looked at a tool or 2 that we've played with over the last week and how it's changed something for us? So pick 1, pick 2, pick 5, and let's play with them. And what if it was all about you and what you desire to create as your future, the direction of where you want to go in this world and where you want this world to go and to be in, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years. So I think I've talked enough. I'm going to stop and sign off. I don't think anyone else has any questions. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me. I hope to see you on the next show or somewhere in the world. I also have an awesome podcast that I do pretty much every week. The latest one I've just released is with 3 of the 4 gents from the Gents Club, which is a specialty within Access. So I had Saul Wynne-Jones, Hannes Thalmann and Mark Kerr on with me. So I was just missing Romain Pettigin. He's the 4th gent, but he wasn't with us in Budapest. So if you want to listen to my podcast as well, you can go to my website, and I think you'll find it on there. I don't remember the short link for it, but I can put it in the comments of this video once I post it. And then if there's anything else you guys desire, once I can start traveling again, I'll be facilitating some classes and intros and stuff like that as well. But in the meantime, how much fun can I have while I'm in quarantine? How much can I entertain myself with Facebook Lives? And how much more can I choose to use the tools of Access to create the life and the future that I desire to create? So I hope maybe some of that's relevant for you guys as well. And if it is, please use it. And thank you for being here with me. Bye.